Entertainment. Bad Bunny. He's headed to the Super Bowl. This is from USA Today. A week after he concluded his 31-date Puerto Rico residency, the reggaeton superstar was revealed as the headliner for the Apple Music Super Bowl LX halftime show in 2026. The news was announced Sunday, September 28th, during the Sunday night football game between the Dallas Cowboys and Green Bay Packers. Hours before the announcement was officially shared, rumors of Bad Bunny as the headliner were circulating online. Minutes before the reveal, he alluded to the halftime show in a tweet, saying he'd add a single U.S. concert date. Then finally, Bad Bunny, in a collaboration post with the NFL, Apple Music, and Roc Nation, shared a post of himself sitting atop a goalpost on a beach as his Callaita, I think that's it, plays in the background. And the quote, Super Bowl LX Bay Area, February 2026, the post was captioned. In a nod to his Puerto Rican heritage, Bad Bunny wore a pava, a traditional hat made from leaves of the Puerto Rican hat palm. Quote, what I'm feeling goes beyond myself, unquote, Bad Bunny said in a statement shared by the NFL. Quote, this is for my people, my culture, and our history, unquote. Ve y dile a tu abuela que seremos el halftime show del Super Bowl, the musician added, which translates to go on and tell your grandma that we'll be at the Super Bowl halftime show. Bad Bunny may have wrapped his sold-out residency at the Coliseo de Puerto Rico, but he's not necessarily taking a holiday before hitting the Super Bowl stage in February. The Titi Me Pregunto artist kicks off his 24-date Debí Tirar Más Fotos world tour in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, on November 21st. The 2026 Super Bowl, scheduled for February 8th, lands a day after Bad Bunny wraps the 3 nights in Santiago, Chile. February 5th through 7th, the football game will be held at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California. Bad Bunny technically made a Super Bowl debut in 2020 when he performed during Shakira and Jennifer Lopez's co-headlining halftime show. Okay, sorry about that. My Spanish is awful, and it needs to get better. You wouldn't believe me if I told you, but Spanish was actually the first language I spoke, because my grandma spoke Spanish. But and it wasn't Puerto Rican Spanish; it was Cuban Spanish. So anyway, I was so excited about this. I love this. We're gonna get to online reactions, but what did you think when you first heard about this?
Bad Bunny spent a 30-show residency in San Juan, Puerto Rico. The first 9 dates of that residency were reserved exclusively for Puerto Rican residents. Mm-hmm. Had to prove they were residents in order to come to the show. He made the world come to that island. If you want to see me live, you will come here. And people from all over the world, from all different backgrounds, all different types of lives, from LeBron James to the mother of my children. People made that sojourn to Puerto Rico to see what almost every one of them called one of the best shows they'd ever seen in their life. Mm. And this is kind of an example of what we said before, where they being corporate America play both sides. And I don't understand the why, because typically capitalism used to win. And you and I are not, huge proponents, of capitalism, but it used to win out. Like, capitalism beat racism once upon a time. The reason why these sports leagues are integrated and why they start making products targeted specifically at minority groups, capitalism won. Hey, I know we can make more money if we do something with the black people, right? Cool. It wasn't benevolence. Those black squares on Instagram wasn't because they loved us. They wanted to show some form of solidarity so that we would keep spending our money, right? So for the conservative, especially the 2025 conservative, there has to be a lot of head scratching going on. The Super Bowl last year was Kendrick Lamar Duckworth. All my life, I had to fight Kendrick Lamar Duckworth. And this year, an artist who has never released a single song with a single English word uttered from his mouth on it. However, one of the largest and most successful artists in the history of Earth. So capitalism kind of wins. But MAGA has to be scratching their head because the same NFL that just paid tribute to Charlie Kirk, who would have never welcomed Bad Bunny to his home, to his country, because they forget about Puerto Rico's relationship with the United States of America. I think they really do think that's a foreign land. Who have never welcomed him here. They're going to have him headline their largest TV show of the year. And it'll probably be the most watched Super Bowl halftime show of all time. And it will be by a Puerto Rican Spanish speaking artist who might do an entire set in Spanish. They have to be scratching their heads. How did We Gonna Be All Right move on to they don't even know what he's saying? And their racism jumped out of their pores immediately when this announcement was made.
Can I make that live for you?
Please.
So we shared a post on our social media. I want to share it. There's a person, this might be Twitter or something like that, right? He puts up a post. Of course, the NFL would announce a non-U.S. citizen for the Super Bowl halftime show. And then the emoji with the eyes like looking straight up, like exasperated, exhausted, whatever. And then he goes on to say, right on cue. And cue is spelled Q-U-E-U-E, like queuing in a line, as opposed to C-U-E. So there's like a grammatic error in this tweet. You know, I just make me cringe. And then someone responded to this person's post saying, Rihanna, not a U.S. citizen. Shakira, not a U.S. citizen. Coldplay, not U.S. citizens. The Who, not U.S. citizens. Rolling Stones, not U.S. citizens. Paul McCartney, not a U.S. citizen. U2, not U.S. citizens. Bad Bunny, U.S. citizen. I just love that.
And that's so incredible.
It's amazing, right?
That's so incredible.
Oh, they just, you know, we fortunately we get a chance to highlight when people are loud and wrong at the same time, and it happens so often, and it's so funny. Like the Byron Donalds thing we just talked about, where Jasmine Crockett just took him right down, super loud. He was like, Trump, and these are full-grown adults, and blah blah. And she just, he was just loud and wrong. And you know, if you listen to him talk, you would think, okay, this guy's just tough on crime and he's trying to do whatever, right? But when the hypocrisy is laid bare, you're like, oh my God. And it's what you said, you know, there's a lot of hypocrisy over there. So, you know, I, for one, am happy that Bad Bunny is headlining the Super Bowl. I, for one, am happy that Puerto Rico is getting its day in the sun. Why not? Why not? Do these people not have siblings? I got the most siblings, so I'm really good at sharing. You know what I mean? And these people, I have no idea why they're so furious all the time. Well, I guess we do. We talked about that when Joy sent over that post to us, but they just find something else to be angry about. I'm so happy. You know, one of my best friends is Puerto Rican. I want to go to the island. I still haven't been. I've been to all 50 states, but I haven't been to the territories. And so Puerto Rico is on the list, and I won't need a passport to go because it's the United States of America. And our countryman, Bad Bunny, speaking his native language, because that's what they say in Puerto Rico. They speak Spanish, is going to be sharing his art with the world on the largest television stage in the world, if I'm not mistaken. And you know, this is an island that they use.
It's the largest television stage in the United States for sure.
Okay. Well, that will go with that. But Puerto Rico, for folks that don't know the history, has been shunned by the government repeatedly over the years. Do me a favor. I know we're running out of time, but look up the sterilization in Puerto Rico. Look that up, and you'll see how this government has mistreated Puerto Rico going all the way back. And that's not the only example. So shout out to Bad Bunny. You know, it's his time, and I love to see it. And he should speak Spanish if that's what he wants to do, because his art is in Spanish. and people need to expand their frame of reference and their paradigm and their cultural boundaries. So keep going.